Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's doing all right. Hope everyone had a nice weekend. So, today we're going to go ahead and start the analysis for the week ahead for Bitcoin and gold. Let's start with the fundamentals. All right, let me add the screen here for Forex Factory. Just give me a second. Okay, let's do it. So, during the live stream, if you guys have any question, please just let me know and I will go through the comments. Okay. Hope you enjoy it. Let's start. Okay. So we're now seeing Forex Factory. So for the incoming week, tomorrow we have bank holiday on the US. So don't expect any big moves, especially on gold. All right. Uh, Bitcoin can maintain like this range it's forming that I'm going to show you guys. But other than that, don't expect any big move on the markets, especially on the FX markets. Okay, so if you're trading the FX markets, I would suggest not trading tomorrow because of bank holiday. There's no volatility. On Tuesday, we have consumer confidence at, let me change this to UTC. Right, so 2 p.m. UTC, consumer confidence on Tuesday. Free on Wednesday. Thursday, we will be dealing with unemployment claims, GDP, and pending home sales. Unemployment claims is the most important on Thursday. This is an important metric for the Fed for the interest rates. So take that into consideration. Protect your positions. We might see some volatility. And on Friday, 12:30 p.m. core PCE price index, which is also important for the inflation metrics. All right, guys. So that's the forex calendar. That's the fundamental calendar for the incoming week. Let's go check out the charts, which is the most important. Let me share my Bitcoin chart and let's start. All right. Give me a second. Okay, perfect. So we have the Bitcoin chart. I'm going to start with the weekly. The weekly chart is important to me. The quarterly rolling VWAP and the volume profile. All right. So basically, what I'm going to try to find here is the low volume nodes on the volume profile and attempt to look for the most likely support and resistance levels that might help me to get entries in the incoming week or in the incoming days. All right. So the first one is here. We have a low volume node that is aligned with a liquidity gap here, which is important. Always align your volume levels with price action because price action is king basically. We have the high of this high volume node entirely here, aligned with these two candle closures over here, which is important from an order flow perspective. We have another support level with a low volume node here. We have another low volume node here. And yeah, I think that those are the most important ones, to be honest. If you want to add more, we can say this one over here. We can draw a zone over there and possibly, yeah, this one, which also aligns with a low volume node. This is a high volume node that can be used as an area as well. And this, yeah, those are the ones that I'm going to look out for today. All right. So let me go back to the weekly chart, and I'm going to put these levels on the macro chart on the daily and the 10-hour. Okay. And now I'm going to head to the macro chart. Right, I have my levels over there. All right, so basically what price action is showing us, I'm going to round up these numbers as well. Okay, so 71k, 380. It's important for me to round out numbers because these give me psychological levels which tend to react to price approaching to them. All right. We don't have any support and resistance level above. What you can do is set the Fibonacci tool and look for an extension of the last two low volume nodes. Okay. By doing this, you will have your extension. from the previous value area, which is extremely important. This is a technique that I learned, that I can extend my value areas uh, edges, which is extremely important. So if we break out from 71K, it's very likely that we're going to see 79. If we break out above 79, then we might go and look for around 90K. Like, it's not exact, but it works really nice, and it's pretty accurate, to be honest. All right. So what the price is telling me on the 10-hour chart, let's look for the market structure. This is the last higher high made, and this is the last higher low made. Okay, so this is only for the intra-week market structure, the 10 hours. All right, that's perfect. What the market's telling me on the macro chart is basically that we are basically dealing with a range formation inside a high volume node on a high volume node from the weekly chart, inside 71K 380 and 59K 100. All right, so those are our extremes. Now I would suggest that you guys do not short this rejection. Right, why I'm suggesting this? Because this rejection is coming from a point of view in which traders are basically shorting range high. Am I right? But to short range high, you essentially, what you want to see is a failed swing or a failed action above the previous highs, right? So if you see something like this, like let's say this move went all the way up here, all the way up here, and then it declined, uh, start trading inside the value area, and then you short. All right, but since this selling pressure is coming from just the fact that this is range high, this is an awesome zone to place in the stops above this level and above this level and above this level to build liquidity on the previous highs. And there's no such thing as someone chasing your stop losses. No, that's not a thing. But price do chase liquidity, and where most liquidity is, then price is going to move. And normally, when price is going to move towards that liquidity, is going to move very fast, and that means that you will be basically ending up late on such movement. All right, so what this chart is telling me, which is the 10-hour, I prefer using the 10-hour than the daily, to be honest, because it gives me um, clear signals. Sometimes the daily misses on giving me signals on my strategy, especially. But if you don't want to read this chart, then go ahead and use the daily. It's the same. Basically, you go ahead and place your levels on the weekly chart and then put it on the daily or the 10-hour. All right. So for swing confirmations, I use the 10-hour. All right. What this chart is telling me, the rolling VWAP is heading higher. Right. Price is above the rolling VWAP, the monthly one. I'm looking for something like this, to be honest. Right. So take liquidity below this low, and then go ahead and go towards 71K and possibly go higher. Otherwise, yeah, we need to wait for a real breakout of this level, rejection, and then continuation, right? Considering that the market structure remains bullish, that's extremely important, because if we see a breakout below this level, shifting market structure on the 10-hour, then we might go to look for this liquidity over here, right? Towards the range lows once again, and Bitcoin can remain ranging here a couple more weeks. It doesn't really matter. The fact is that uh, we need to wait for an interaction either on range highs or range lows to look for a trade on a swing trade, especially. Right now, I'm going to look for my intraday volume levels. A second. Okay, intraday volume levels. So we might start looking for low volume nodes. We have a low volume node over here, which aligns basically with this liquidity gap, right? Then we may have this liquidity gap over here. We also have the range highs, which is important for the intraday as well. We have the candle closures over here, which align with this liquidity, with this low volume node. We also have this. You can see this liquidity gap over here, waiting to get filled, and this liquidity gap has already been filled, so it makes sense to put it there. Low volume node, low volume node, low volume node. We have basically this is the whole range. To be honest, yeah, if you see the volume profile here, you can see that this is a whole high volume node, right? Okay, now it has changed. All right, so that's important. Now we can draw our level over here. All right, I'm going to draw it over here in confluence with the candle closures, which seems more important to me, to be honest. Then I'm going to leave this one, an area here, and then another confluence with this low volume node over here and this candle closures that aligns with this liquidity gap as well. So those are the levels that are important to me right now. Okay. Now I'm going to move these levels towards the intra-week chart, which is the hourly. All right. Now we have the 10 hour. We have a bullish market structure in the 10 hour, and we go towards the swing trading chart. All right. So we have our swing trading chart. We have a zone over here, which is an intra-week zone. We are most likely seeing a rejection here. The good thing about this hourly chart is that okay, this is the last candle that made the higher high on this chart. Okay, higher high, and this is the previous higher low. Right, this is only for the hourly structure. Right, hourly structure, perfect. Oh no, I want this to be till the 9 hour because I don't want it to mix with the 10-hour chart. Okay, so our 10-hour chart is bullish. The hourly is also bullish, right? We're having a high relative volume candle, bullish hammer, basically closing above this intraday B level at 68,530. This is 70K 170. This one is 67K 380, and so on. Let me this one 71K 440. This zone is a magnet for price 65 770 and 65 500. Okay, let's leave it like that. All right, this is our zone, and now we're good to go. Now let me activate the weekly rolling VWAP. The weekly rolling VWAP is kind of switching momentum. Okay, we have several failed actions during this weekend. We have this one, two, three, four failed actions on the previous higher high. Okay, normally after this happening, you most likely see price going towards the range lows. Okay, towards the previous structural level. That's important. So that leaves us on that this level at 67K 380 is a magnet for price, and also this zone, right? The problem with this zone is that if we break below this level and we make a market structure shift, we need to wait for a failed action to go long if the 10 hour remains bullish, of course, right? But in this case, we have four failed actions. Why failed action? Why failed swing over here? Because basically you are seeing one candle that goes above the previous structural level, and then the next candle closes below it. One candle closes above, next candle closes below. One candle closes above, next candle closes below, and next one candle closes above, and then next candle closes below. That's a failed action. I love those patterns, to be honest. To trade them is very easy. One of the easiest patterns to trade. But in this case, I'm not short in the market right now because my bias from the 10-hour chart is bullish. Okay, it's bullish, and the hourly chart is also bullish. Right, so basically I'm either longing from here, from this rejection, right? I'm either longing if I have a confirmation. What confirmation do I need? I need confluences, right? I have a bullish hammer over here, then this candle has turned into an inside bar after the hammer. Now let's take a look at the CBD, which is also important, right? Let's take a look at the CBD. The CBD is, as you can see, if we take into consideration this low, the price hasn't been able to make a new lower low on this internal structure, right? But the CBD is showing me that there's a lot of aggressive selling going on here, which is confluent from the point of view that the market might just continue higher because there's a lot of bearish, there's a lot of selling pressure at this level, right? Where's the liquidity above these levels? Where's the liquidity? Always ask yourself, where's the liquidity above these levels, all right? So, but we need to wait because basically we have an inside bar right now, right? Inside bar, and this is going to set the trade for the incoming day, possibly, because if I take this into consideration, all right, I'm going to put my swing trading chart here. In my intraday, I'm going to look for intraday support and resistance right now. Okay, intraday support and resistance. We have a low volume node over here. Yeah, low volume node over here, which aligns with possibly this level. No, we don't have anything here, to be honest. Have a volume gap over here that it's getting filled. We have another two candle closures over here, which aligns with this gap. We have these candle closures over here. Then we have this liquidity gap. All right, yeah, so that's, and we also have the candle closures over here, which are aligned with this low volume level. And we can also put this one just in case, right? So these levels are for the intraday chart. So I'm going to move them towards the intraday chart, which is intraday. And I have my intraday levels for the 10-minute chart. All right. These levels are not the ones that I'm going to trade, right? But rather where to take profit if I'm on an intraday trade. All right. So let me put this out. Let's look for the 10-minute structure. All right. This is the previous lower high, and this is the last lower low. All right. So one thing that I have found that it's very useful if you're trading with candle patterns. So you see, we are having this inside bar, and other than that, we had this hammer candle, high relative volume candle. It's important, it's confluent with the bullish trend to go long, right? But this candle is not being able to shift the market structure on the lower time frame. So no trade, right? You save yourself this way. Now, if after this inside bar we have a confirmation that the market will continue to the downside, which makes a lot of sense, uh, taking into consideration the fact that the rolling VWAP is changing momentum, and we had four failed swings, four failed actions on the previous structural level. It's very likely that we're going to see 67k 380. We just need a confirmation from this inside bar confirmation candle to close below the inside buy range, and then we look for long shorts basically. This is a mean reversion trade because I'm not following the hourly, neither the 10-hour, the macro trend, right? It's a mean reversion because I'm going against the trend. I'm betting on the market going towards the mean once again, all right? But that needs confirmation, right? CBD is also bearish on the 10-minute, which is confluent with price, and the daily rolling VWAP is also showing bearish momentum. All right. So in terms of trades, we can literally look for a short if this candle closes like this, right, below this inside bar. I would look for a short position here. All right. You use the inside bar low as an entry level. Let me check the, yeah, inside bar as the entry level. and you set your stop loss on the 10-minute chart about the previous structural level, which is going to be this one. Okay, no, this is not the position. Yeah, is this one. Stop loss above this level, and I will be targeting the the hourly level, the intra-week level, 67,380. Okay, so we have a 2-to-1 trade there. Nice. Um, this is a risky trade. If I take it, if I see confirmation, if this candle closes below the inside bar, uh, I'm certainly taking this trade, but I will be only taking 0.5% risk. And if not, then just wait for the market structure shift on the 10-minute, and you will have more confidence to go long. If we shift market structure on the 10-minute chart, pull back, and then continuation to the upside towards 70k, 70k to 100. All right, that's my outlook for Bitcoin. What do you think, guys? Do you have any question? Uh, do you want me? Oh, okay. So I'm going. What I'm going to do is go ahead and look for the gold chart. Okay, let me save this, and I'm going to start sharing my gold chart. Okay, gold has started trading already, which is good thing. Perfect. Now the same procedure. All right, we go to the weekly chart, uh, quarterly, rolling VWAP. It's important. Let's go and find our volume levels. All right. To be honest, gold is looking very bearish to me. All right. Why? Because a couple streams ago, I shared this inside bar formation on the weekly chart. All right. We had a failed action below the inside buy low. The market moved towards the range highs, and now we have a failed action above the range highs. And with a bearish, well, this is not a bearish engulfing candle because the body wasn't able to close below the previous candle. But as you can see, my footprint chart is showing absorption on this one candle, which is extremely confluent with the fact that we might decline more from here. But to have more confirmation that gold has possibly reached its top, is that you have a candle closure below this level. Well, two candle closures, because otherwise you might have a failed action, right? Possible pullback and continuation to the downside to fill this liquidity gap, to fill this liquidity gap, to fill this liquidity gap, and so on, right? It depends. But for now, the market structure remains bullish. Let's look for our volume levels, right? So we have our first volume level aligned with this low volume node over here. We have this volume level as well, confluent with the liquidity gap over here. I'm going to draw a zone over there. Low volume node, liquidity gap, low volume node, zone, and then low volume node, right? So all of these low volume nodes going to move towards the macro chart, the daily or the 10-hour, right? For me, it's 10-hour. I like it really. I really like it. So I'm going to draw a zone over here. It's a macro zone, and we also have a zone over here, but I'm going to delete this one because it's basically it's too thin for me to think about it as a zone. All right. The market structure on the 10-hour has shifted. This was the previous higher low, and this was the previous higher high. This we had two candle closures below this higher low. That means that basically we're having a bearish market structure at the moment, and this is our last lower high. Okay, so bearish market structure on the macro trend, right? This is, I just wanted to appear from the 10-hour and above. Okay, CBD is not very useful in these time frames, but well, we can use it. It's bullish. It's following price action, so it's okay. Uh, we're seeing a little bit like, yeah, it's fine. I don't want to confuse you guys with the CBD on the 10 hour because we are not trading that. We're trading just the candle confluences from the volume levels, right? So bearish trend. Um, on the 10 hour, the rolling VWAP, the monthly rolling VWAP is basically showing a sideways trend, which is pretty clear because basically this whole movement is a range formation between 2414 and 2300, and that's what we have on the macro trend, right? We might see a pullback. That's important. That doesn't mean that we continue just shorting towards this level, right? The good scenario to see something like this, right? And then a continuation to the downside to look for the range lows. But we need, as a swing trade, we either shorted this movement towards this level over here, or we either, as we did actually, we longed the range lows towards the range highs. That's what we did. That's how we do it. All right. You wait for interactions with your levels. You wait for enough confluences. Okay. You wait for enough confluences for you to open a trade. Otherwise, you just keep your hands out of your computer and just look at the market, how it moves, and how the market participants are behaving. That's the nice thing about trading. All right. Now I'm going to look for my intraday, intra-week volume levels. All right. So we have low volume node over here aligned with this liquidity gap. I'm going to most likely draw a sum between these two. Then we have another one over here. Okay. Have another one over here. Have another one liquidity gap aligned with low volume node over there. And then we might draw this over here. Then we have this low volume node, low volume node. Oh, we have a liquidity gap over here that might need to get filled eventually. And I'm going to draw some other. Right, so we have this level, these levels, a lot of levels for gold this time. Right, I'm going to move that into my hourly chart. We have our bias on the 10 hour, which is bearish, and ranging momentum from the rolling VWAP. Okay, now we go ahead to the hourly. Right, we have our levels, we have our zone of interest over here. Okay, and we have another zone of interest over here. Right, we have a lot of levels to the upside to fill. Let's take a look at the intra-week market structure. So this is a bullish candle. Yeah, this is a bullish candle. So we have the lower low and a new lower low, two candle closures below it, new lower low, lower high, two candle closures above the previous lower high. That means a shifting market structure. This is our, okay, so this is basically our new higher high for now. I'm going to tell you why. So this is, oh, this is our structural levels for the hourly chart. I just want this to appear. Okay. This is our higher high. Market structure has shift, right? This is important. Market structure has shift, but this is not a new high. This is not a new high, and so on. Because as I recently explained to you guys on Bitcoin, one candle closes above the structural level, then the next closes below. One candle above, next closes below. One candle above, next closes below. And now we need to wait for this candle. If this candle closes above this level, then we have a new structural level, which is going to set the higher low to this one. And then we need to wait for the higher high to form, right? Following the the 10-hour microstructure, right, which is bearish, we essentially need to look for short setups, right? Okay, this is intra-week, and this is also intra-week. We would like to look for shorts. That's our plan, following this structure. But this doesn't mean that gold can pull back on the 10-hour chart towards all of these levels, all right? So if we're going to trade the hourly chart, this means that basically we're looking for longs right now on the intraday movements, all right? Only on the intraday movements. From the macro perspective, which is the 10-hour, we're looking for shorts, all right? And this is the intraday. We have our intra-week levels. All right, since the market structure is bullish, then we're looking for longs. The weekly rolling VWAP is basically it's showing some bearish momentum at right now, but it's flat. So ranging environment, right? So ranging environment, possible a bottom formation, then most likely pull back towards 2374, 2394, 2411. Okay. But we must wait for a high relative volume candle, like a bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing, uh, bullish pin bar, bullish hammer, or an inside bar, bullish breakout. Okay, to take a trade, because otherwise we're just basically waiting for this to happen. All right. Nice scenario for tomorrow. Well, not necessarily tomorrow, but because it's bank holiday. But if we see something like this, failed action, then we can look for longs towards this level as well, pullback, continuation, and so on. We look for these intraday trades if the macro chart pullbacks. Otherwise, we need to wait for the macro on the 10-hour to interact with the volume level to have a clear bias. All right. Uh, that would be for gold. Let me put this on 10-minute and look for the intra-week uh, volume levels. All right, these are also important levels to take into consideration. Have one here. Yeah, liquidity gap on low volume node. We have, yep, liquidity gap on low volume node. Possible area here. Liquidity gap on low volume node, and liquidity gap on low volume node. All right, those are my levels for the intraday chart. Those are my resistance levels. Now I'm going to look for support levels. We have here possible liquidity gap over here as well. And if we want to go lower, then we need to have, yeah, that's the last low volume node. And then we have high volume node over here. And then the next level would be this one, which is way too far right now. All right. So those are our intraday levels. If we go to the intraday chart, we're going to have something like this. That's the nice thing about volume levels. You have volume levels for each time frame. These are intraday. And these allow us. So let's say we have the a scenario that I'm telling on gold. Like we go down again, failed action below these previous lows. The market structure remains bullish, and we continue higher. We look for longs, right? We look for longs on the 10-minute chart. So basically, this scenario is going to give us something like this. Move below, right? The market structure on the 10-minute is going to shift for this to happen, right? That's important. So you have something like this, shift the market structure, failed action, shift the market structure again, then you start looking for the pullback, okay? And then continuation towards, we have 2354. So around 2354, so somewhere around here. You would like to target this area over here, most likely this level or this level. Okay, that's how we do it. And for the swing charts, which is basically we don't have any trade setup at the moment for the swing charts because the gold the gold swing chart is not interacting with any volume level right now, and Bitcoin either. Let me just double check again. Bitcoin macro. Yeah, Bitcoin is not interacting other than this recent rejection over here, but other than that, you don't have nothing, right? So please don't short this rejection, especially since Bitcoin is bullish and we don't have a failed action. So basically, a lot of liquidity is building around here. If Bitcoin continues higher, this is going to be a quick move to the upside. That if you short that, you're going to get stopped out. All right. So be careful, guys. Okay. So yeah, I think that would be all for today. Guys, if you have any question, please just let me know. This is my analysis. That's how I take decisions on the market. It's simple. I use volume tools like high relative volume, rolling VWAPs, volume profile, um, candle formations, basic price action, market structure, cumulative volume delta to find discrepancies between price and what market orders are doing. Okay, so take that into consideration. If you guys have any question, just let me know. You can DM me on Discord on Bast, or just DM me on Twitter as well. Dot Bast Labs. All right. I would leave it on the chat. If you guys want to follow me, I would be sharing some intraday and swing setups over there on my Twitter. All right. So that would be all for today, guys. Thank you very much. Um, Hope you have a nice Sunday. If it's Sunday for you, if it's Monday, then nice week ahead. See you guys on the next show. Bye bye.